Welcome back to the Sports Show. Okay, boys, we're nearly in the overtime phase here. I want to get a couple at you first off. We'll come back to footy, but this one's a bit more at you, Baz, but I'm interested in your opinion on this. Ando, the Ashes series about to start in Australia later in the year. The English cricketers are now saying, not all of them, but some of them are saying, no, we're going to boycott if our families don't get special privileges with the quarantine rules. So we're going to boycott, we might not come.
Mate, the world is in a really, really ordinary situation at the moment, isn't it?
Yep.
If you are privileged to play for your country and still being allowed to play, you play wherever, whenever. I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with them boycotting or threatening to boycott.
It's a country's rule. It's our country's rule.
That's right.
And that's what it is.
You're visiting us. You come to us, Ashes series.
Because they've handled the COVID brilliantly over here.
You said, that's right. Yeah, Boris has been
so
fantastic.
Let's follow what Boris does.
That's exactly
Speaking of the nurses and the doctors and the hospitals, they've done a beautiful job there.
Let's see if we can get up to a couple of 100,000 a day.
Yeah, that's right. See, I'm not happy with that. I think that's being a little bit greedy.
Yep.
That's being very greedy, really.
It's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful to our country.
It's very disrespectful.
So, man, if you don't want to come, send another team. There'd be 11 cricketers over there that do want to come.
Love it.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
and think, wow, you know. And there'd be guys over there wanting to get away from their wife. Not that I think that's a good thing.
Might be a couple of wives who are happy to send them over here.
I think Ando's word was spot on.
Yep.
Disrespectful to Australia. Yeah.
Right. I think they'll probably all finish up coming.
I just want to say for you, next question, Tony Simon's fantastic. I really enjoyed the interview.
Is that because he mentioned your name?
He did mention my name, but he was a tough player, tough opponent, and I really enjoyed the interview. It was well done, guys.
Well done, mate. I want to ask you about Josh Carr. Frio's Josh Carr. Of course, we love Josh. He was over here. Port Adelaide took North to a premiership. Fined $25,000. Suspended for 4 games for breaching the WA quarantine direction. So after they played the Gold Coast, he was to fly home. 14 days in self-isolation. The police went round to check on him and he wasn't there.
There's that word again, disrespectful
that's
to me,
mate. You know the rules. It's happened a little bit over the last couple of years, but you know, in all fairness to the AFL, they've done a brilliant job, absolutely brilliant job. And unfortunately, just a couple of guys have tried to do it their way, and I'm so happy they've been caught out. I really am.
I think the AFL have done an amazing job. I think the players and the coaches all have to accept that privilege is not the right word, but because they're doing all the COVID testing, they're doing all the right things, they're allowed to go in and fly in, go to the game, fly out. Otherwise, it doesn't happen.
That's right.
This kind of thing, if this festers, the government goes, not interested anymore.
That's it.
So I think, feel sorry for Josh because
big belly, great bloke, 25 large,
bloke, but 25.
And we don't know where he went.
And that's true as well. We don't know.
We don't know where he went.
Why he went. You're not supposed to go anywhere.
Rules are rules.
Well, that's right. He might have went and got some medicine for.
Still not allowed it.
Okay.
Not allowed to. There's no. He can't get out. No get out of jail card.
All right.
So he can't
disrespectful.
It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful number 2, eh? So we've bashed the English cricket team disrespectful. Josh, you've been a little disrespectful too. Now, this bloke hasn't been disrespectful, so you won't get 3 strikes here. Good. Alistair Clarkson has announced... Disrespectful.
For not taking
Alistair
the job.
Clarkson has announced that he's going to take a year off. Good decision or not?
I think it's a good
17 years in the hot seat.
Mate, you know, it's a tough gig.
Yep.
A coach, isn't it? I
mean, you could see the last 4 or 5 months for Allison was really tough. A lot of pressure. You just seen him in the spotlight with the performance of Hawthorn, and they were rebuilding, and actually they ran home really well. But he took a brunt of a month or so of not great footy, and you're probably right. 17 years. Just let me just catch my breath for a year.
Exactly.
Let me have a sit back in the grandstand, have a look how the game's revolved and what I can add to it. Sitting out for a year. I think it's a great call. I really do.
So do I. I agree that he takes a year off because he's going to get another job. It doesn't have to be this year. He can have a year off, take the family on a holiday, well, not overseas, but pull back a fraction because it's a tough gig. So take the year. There'll be probably 3 coaching jobs up next year. There'll be. He's got to go and he's got to go, and there he is sitting there waiting. And that's. I think he's done the right thing here.
I think he's the master. So what he said he's going to do.
I want to say because you've been the coach at the very highest level and been very, very successful. Could you have a year off?
Absolutely.
And then come back into it?
Absolutely.
No worries?
Absolutely. And I think he could have 10 years off, to tell you the truth, as long as he stayed in touch with the game and saw what was going on. I don't think it's the time away from the game. If you had 10 years off and went fishing every day and never saw a game, you can't come back. But if you're still involved, mentoring people, still involved, you can do it easily.
He's a football head.
There's two more questions in this. So he's taken the year off to freshen up, and he's going to do some study and get himself better prepared to come back. So it's not like he's just gone. That's
There you go. There you go.
He's got $60,000 in his contract at Hawthorn that is for professional development, which he hasn't spent over the journey.
Yeah.
And as part of his contract to get that money, Hawthorn are now saying, we're not giving you that $60,000 to go and do professional development because you're not going to be a better coach working with us. There's a bit of a sticking point on
there is a contract there, isn't there?
Well, obviously from his point of view, as I had a contract, and just because I didn't spend the money doesn't mean you shouldn't give it to me.
Yeah. You can't give the money to him.
Can't give it to him?
No, it's got to go to 60? It's got to go to the new coach so they can develop
He'll only get $940,000.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's right.
Unless he's signed that he's going to come back in 3 years' time, but if he's not going to be part of the club, no, he doesn't get the money.
All right, let me ask you this. You guys have both coached. You've been out of footy coaching for a while. When was the last time you coached?
I would have to have been 7 years ago.
7 years for you?
Oh, no, mate. Couldn't remember.
All right, so 7 years ago, could you go back and coach now? Do you reckon you could go back and you'd still be okay?
You know, it's really interesting to say that because I actually watch footy differently now because I sort of got over coaching and, well, that was enough. I really want to enjoy my footy with my mates and that's been a lot of fun as well on the mound and having a steak sandwich and a beer and all that sort of stuff. But now actually really start to go then I try to be a bit more in strategy aspect, you know, and what will King Henley do or whoever the coach in the SANFL, I'm watching one of the games out there. And I actually find myself, I'm actually coaching again.
Yep.
And I think I would be a better coach now. I've sat back and just watched it for the last 3 or 4 years.
See it differently.
I have seen it differently. And I sort of think, wow, if I only had put that into my coaching the last 2 or 3 years of my career as a coach, because it would have been more exciting for me rather than the way I was going and not really changing. I probably really needed to change, and I didn't see that until I actually stepped away and now really analysing a lot more.
You just got to have the right people around you.
So true.
You know, if you've got a really good manager, with you, that can enhance your coaching.
No question. Yeah.
Twofold, double.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of the work will go there, not with you. A lot of the little things, the little tiny things. I've always found, even with cricket, if that team has got a good manager, a good man manager, then they're a good team.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's a massive key.
So there's the intricacies of the game, then there's the man management. So I can get the feedback from you on what the intricacies are.
Yeah.
Get that into the spiel to give to the players, and we're working perfectly. So I agree. I think it's the people, yourself, plus what you've got around. Hey, boys, we have to wrap it up. It has been a ripping show. Appreciate Ando, drop it in, mate. Fell into the,
even though uninvited.
My key away.
A little bit of a bounce to the show.
Even though uninvited, we're asking to leave your keys with it.
Hope you've enjoyed the show, everybody. Look forward to your company next week. Bye for now.
Bye.